Bob Newhart, the stand-up comedian famous for his subtle, stammering delivery and Emmy Award-winning character on The Bob Newhart Show, spoke to an audience at his first-ever AARP convention, just 2 days after celebrating his 78th birthday. The beloved comic told audiences Friday that humor is more than his livelihood. It is also the key to a long, healthy life and a strong marriage.
Comedians' marriages seem to last longer than other performers. Danny Thomas, Buddy Hackett, Jack Benny, George Burns. And I think there's a link between the length of a marriage and the humor.
And I give her a lot of responsibility for whatever success I've attained because she keeps me in line. She keeps me from getting full of myself, you know. And that, like in LA, we have on Wednesdays they pick up the garbage, and we have recyclable and non-recyclable. So like late Tuesday afternoon, Jenny will say to me, "Oh, Bob, take the recyclables out because they're going to pick it up in the morning." And I would say to her, "You think Joanne Woodward asked Paul Newman to take out the recyclables?" And her answer is, "If you were Paul Newman, I wouldn't ask you." I still do stand-up. I started doing it 47 years ago, and I still do about 20 dates a year because I call the alternative Sunset Boulevard. You know, sitting in a darkened room and having Eric von Stroheim come in and ask me what episode of Newhart I would like to see today. That isn't the way I'd like to spend the rest of my time. As Debbie mentioned, I wrote a book. The title was "I Shouldn't Even Be Doing This," and that came from a joke where the employee is having an affair with the boss's wife, and they're in the throes of passion, and she says, kiss me," and he says, I shouldn't even be doing this. The book had a number of titles. I couldn't decide on which one. There was one, Art Linkletter told me a story about he was doing, you know, he does that thing about kids say the darndest things, and he was doing the kids do the darndest things. He was taping it, and there was this one little boy who seemed to be joining in. And so when they went to the commercial break, Art went over to him and said, "You don't seem to be having a good time." And the little boy said, "Well, my favorite dog died this week, and I'm kind of upset." So Art, you know, trying to make him feel better, he said, "Well, you know, you're going to live a long time, but one day, you know, years from now, you'll die, and you'll go up to heaven, and you'll see your doggy again." And the kid said, "What would God want with a dead dog?" LA is weird. No, it just is. I've lived there for 40-some years, 43 years, but it's weird. Like in Chicago, we kept track of things by the age of our kids. You know, that's how you remember things. I mean, if someone said, you want to go to a Cub ball game, you'd say, "Oh, wow, Cub ball game. I've been to a Cub ball game. I think Tim was 12 the last time I went to it." I can keep track of things. But LA is different. It's just a different mindset. Yeah, I mean, if someone would ask someone else, you know, "You want to go to a Dodger game?" "Oh, wow, Dodger games. Yeah, I haven't been to a Dodger game." "Oh my God, I think I was still married to Elaine."
I read, I don't know if it was put on or not, but they mentioned that Hitler, they were going through his things, and he had some recordings by Russian composers and Jewish composers, and also Stalin, apparently, according to this article, enjoyed Cole Porter's music. And then I read a little further, and they said they found among Pol Pot's, the dictator of Cambodia. They found 3 of my albums. So I'm kind of billing myself as Pol Pot's favorite stand-up comedian.
For more AARP coverage, see this weekend's paper and more videos at patriotledger.com. This is Caitlin Keene for the Patriot Ledger.